Welcome to episode 86 of the Brew Crew Scoop. April has come to an end, and it was another 500 week for the Brewers. Just 3-3. They're just keeping on, awaiting the arrivals of Chourio and the re-arrivals of Yelich and Vaughn. Chourio and Vaughn should be back pretty soon. So, as we were just talking about before we started recording, you'll kind of take another 3-3 week, even if it's not crazy impressive against the Pirates and the Diamondbacks at home. So you'll like to win 4 or 5, but for now you'll take it with a really beat up squad. That's kind of the theme here every week.
Yeah, I just wish at the game I actually went to, or we went to yesterday, we would have got the output the offense gave today, but that
Or
was
the day
not the
before.
case.
Yeah, they scored a lot of runs. We saw a lot of James McCann pitching. That's James McCann, the one who got in the altercation with Willie Adames, right? Which was very reminiscent with the
I think
Orioles.
so.
Very reminiscent of the Brian McCann, Carlos Gomez situation. It's funny.
Yeah, Brian McCann was in the league a long time for being
Mhm.
like, I don't know if he was ever like, he didn't really hit. I don't know. Interesting.
Um, Pirates won 6-0 on Skeens versus Woody Day. Um, Woodruff pitched okay in that game, 5 innings. Um, Paul Skeens, obviously the big deal, but 7 innings, 6 and 2/3 of those were perfect. One hit, 7 Ks, no walks. Nothing really to talk about positive for the Brewers in that game. Skeens just looked really, really good. Uh, Saturday's game, it was 3-3 at the end of regulation, but then it was a 3-run top of the 10th for the Pirates. In that game, Mitch Keller went 5 innings for the Pirates. Um, and for the Brewers, Jacob Mizorowski had 9 Ks and only one walk over 6 innings, but it was 3 earned runs. Um, Angel Zerpa had an earned run in the top of the inning. We'll talk about how he is likely to miss some time with an arm injury after not starting the season very well. Sunday, the Brewers took the finale 5-0. Kyle Harrison threw a gem. The last time I had seen a pitcher just getting whiff after whiff after whiff on a high fastball or fastball in the corners in a Brewers uniform, I feel like it was Josh Hader. It seemed like they kind of knew what was coming. I don't know how many whiffs he had on the fastball, but it felt like a lot. 6 innings, 12 Ks, one walk, one hit. So good to see Kyle Harrison coming out. His last 2 outings plus a skip turn in the rotation were marred by that ball to the leg from Gary Sanchez and then the fall on the wrist. So um, hopefully he is going to look a lot like he did on Sunday going forward. So definitely promising and still young. And that's what they were expecting when they traded for him. Tuesday, after a day off, Brewers trounced the Diamondbacks 13-2. Sal Frelick hit a home run. Chad looked really good again. He just continues to be really good. He's a guy who I think we may move back to the pen at some point, but not if he keeps putting up, 6 inning outings like this. So, Sal Frelick homered in that game was the highlight, breaking the homerless streak, and then it was basically the same script today, and we'll talk about that in a sec. But they lost yesterday, 6-2. Um, Bowers and Terang had RBI doubles for the Brewers, but it was 4 runs in the fourth, and then two more on 2 home runs in the ninth for the Diamondbacks that were the difference there. Um, for the Brewers, pitching wise, Brandon Sproat again showed flashes of being good, but still struggled a little bit. I think he's a guy who is going to be really good in the future. Maybe it's not this year, but he's shown a lot of flashes. I mean, that fastball was upper 90s most of the game. So good stuff from DL Hall out of the pen. Brian Fitzpatrick made his debut. And then Grant Anderson, we talked about getting the runs out of his system. A guy who's been pretty good the last year
Normally not too
plus.
hard to get the runs out of your system, huh?
Yeah, but pretty good the last year plus. So if he's going to give up runs like we talked about, it might as well be in quote unquote garbage time. And then today was almost a carbon copy of Friday, 13-1. South
Unplanned
Philly
bullpen
homered.
game
Yeah,
to
South Philly
perfection.
homered. The big story there. Oh, I should mention Contreras with the big home run too, but Freeland homered as well. Tyler Black had a couple hits, but the big story there is Brandon
Alex
Woodruff came out.
Saunders was reincarnated as a righty and was out there giving
Yeah,
it his
that's right.
all.
I don't know what the panic was over the 84 miles an hour. I thought it looked great. But yeah, you don't like to see Woody coming out throwing 84. He's shown that he can get guys out throwing 90 to 93. But 84 to 87 as a overhand righty starter is not going to cut it. So seemed like his whole body was not getting into it, maybe. So maybe that's the silver lining that it has nothing to do with a specific injury. Maybe he's, I don't know. You think he would have hurt if he was under the weather? I know it's been alluded to before that he has that Raynaud's syndrome, I believe it's called, where it's like blood flow to extremities kind of struggles in cold weather. Um,
I think my
Obviously,
wife has that. She's
okay,
always got cold feet,
we've,
but she's never,
we've,
her velo has never gone down on the mound, so I can't relate in
yeah.
this sense.
Well, we've seen him pitching colder, so that can't be the only thing going on. But it didn't. I mean, the fact they let him go out there for a second inning, and
Yeah.
Woody is not a guy to shy away from, saying when he's not feeling right. It seems like so. Definitely concerning. Definitely concerning. Hopefully, maybe just a cold thing, maybe a dead arm thing. He skips maybe a start or two. But I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he ended up on the IL. Best case scenario, maybe a very short stint. Hopefully nothing worse. So that's the big story, unfortunately, from today after another big win.
Yeah. Um, I guess it's nice to see that after that happened, though, we just kept opening the game up and the bullpen got through the game and everyone pitched pretty well. So, um, yeah, we'll see. We were talking about yesterday, though, even with some injuries to the arms, there's still some guys in the minors that deserve to get more looks. We I think agreed. There's at least two that probably deserve to be on a major league mound right now. So um, that'll hopefully get at least one of them a shot if Woody needs some time.
Yeah. Oh, Shane Drone with his first career win today.
He looked
That's
good too. No walks, man.
yeah.
That's big out of him, especially after his first go of it with the crew. So love to see that.
Just actually 20 minutes ago, the beat writers are saying that Kurt Hoke says the Brewers are going to give Woody some time off. Pat Murphy says unsure of an IL move or not yet. He will undergo testing and imaging, but says he didn't feel injured during the outing. And then there's a quote from Adam McCalvy, quote from Woody that Adam McCalvy tweeted. He doesn't feel like he's injured. He said, sorry, this is a quote from Murphy. He doesn't feel like he's injured. He said, my arm's dead. Nothing's coming out. So, um,
Wait,
yeah,
what? He said
his
his
arm,
arm's dead?
yeah, like a dead arm.
Yeah. I mean,
Out.
that's not like a good thing to hear, though.
No, it's not a good thing, but it's not a, oh, I
Yeah.
felt my shoulder pop. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's not the best news, but it's not the worst news yet. So, yeah, but Coleman Crow, Logan Henderson are the guys that we talked about. I mean, we have plenty of good pitching in AAA, not even just those two dudes, but I think Logan Henderson deserves another stint in the majors after what we saw last year for sure, and Coleman Crow maybe a spot start here or there too. Um, but yeah, we need to get healthy. We were joking the Nashville lineup looked better than the Milwaukee lineup yesterday with Chourio and Vaughn in there. The same thing tonight. They just released their lineup, but um, need to get those guys back. I can't imagine Yelly will take too much longer either, but Robert Gasser is in the lineup for the Sounds tonight too. He's another guy who we've seen in the majors, seen have a little bit of success. So
I don't know. I know he had a injury just early in the year, though. I don't know how many starts back he's at, but yeah.
yeah. Also, like I'm curious to see when, well, one, Luis Lara is still hot. That's a 40-man thing, but Jet Williams, I've seen some highlights the past few days that he's looked good. So he's a guy who can maybe help us out with Ortiz still struggling at the plate, maybe, and then play a little bit of center field. I don't think Greg Jones is going to be on this team too much longer. He hasn't shown he can really hit at the major league level. Um, but I guess I should ask you, who was your hot hitter of the week?
Oh, stop dropping on fire, Ricky Bobby! I'm on fire! He's so hot right now.
Today helped too, but there were four guys getting it done. But if I'm just gonna shout one out, even if some other guys might be slightly more deserving, I'm gonna give it to Tyler Black. Just good to finally see him have some success on the big league club. Couple doubles, six RBI, I think. So, um, yeah, he puts together professional at bats. I don't know. I like to see him finally succeeding, whether that means he's here for a lot longer or It doesn't seem like we want to play him on defense, so it might mean he's on another roster, but we'll get something for him. So, rooting for him, and I love hearing Rush as he walks up to the plate, repping his Canadian heritage. But do you want to shout someone out? Otherwise, I'll shout out the other guys that deserve a little bit.
I mean, I guess I'll just say that William Contreras still seems like last year it was the finger that was the hindrance because his numbers aren't like jumping off the page, but another
Yeah,
good
today really helped his last week.
yeah, yep,
But
yep.
yeah, also Sal has had 2 homers, which of course everyone has Sal as our big bopper. Bowers, 3 doubles, 6 runs, 4 RBI, and Bryce Turang, 3 doubles, 6 runs, 2 RBI. So um, believe it or not, out of the current lineup we're putting out, some of our best performers are Sal Frelick and Bryce Turang, not the guys in the bottom. But I will say too, not popping off the page, but David Hamilton's at least somewhat productive at bat a lot of the time right now, and I love to see that because the bottom half of our lineup is not currently the best in the league.
Rengifo has been on a little bit of a nice stretch too.
Yeah, I will. It might take all year for me to see him walk up into the box or be on base or play first base
First base,
and
yeah.
not think that it's Eric Thames,
Yep.
which could be
Which is
worse
a
because
which is no, that's a definitely a compliment.
yeah.
Hmm. Okay, who was your untouchable pitcher of the week?
You fellas are untouchable. Is that the thing? No one can get to you?
I'm gonna give it to I think Shane Drohan actually has a pretty good argument. He's pitched, I think, including today, 9 innings since the last time we talked and gave up 1 run, and only walked one. So that's obviously impressive. But I want to give it to Brian Fitzpatrick. He's played in 2 games. He's been in the majors for 2 games. He's gone 2 1/3 and not given up a run. And I mean, I think we were talking about it yesterday. Like, if you're debuting in the majors and have a clean outing for your debut, that's literally all you can ask for. So, um, that's cool to see for him, and maybe he'll whittle out a way to stay up on the team for a while. He's got definitely the profile of some of the guys that have found a way to stick around the roster, um, being whatever 6'7"
A lot. 6 foot a lot.
and throws hard enough. So we'll see, but I'll give it to those two. And then, I mean, I think Kyle Harrison hopefully can be a mainstay in this segment too. But Brian Fitzpatrick,
Yeah. Harrison looked good. Um, Merrill Kelly, touchable pitcher of the week, maybe? No?
yeah. You
Maybe
know who
the
else is
the
touchable is
walkable.
Sproat. I finally saw those pants in person.
Yeah, wow. And then yeah, Chad Patrick, other than losing his vision in the middle of that game there, looked really good too. Chad's got a 2.57 ERA now, so nothing, not always the flashiest, but he's just continues to keep getting it done. He did have 5 walks in that game, but besides that, that was about all the damage, just 1 hit in 5 innings. Okay, we can take a quick look at the standings. I actually haven't really paid too much attention to the NL Central standings just because it was so bunched up, but it's getting slightly unbunched this week. Unfortunately, the Brewers are towards the bottom of it, but Pittsburgh's in the cellar. The
Pirates, yeah, they
Brewers
lost today too.
Brewers are just ahead of them. Yeah, they lost 5 straight, Pittsburgh.
Paul Skeens was on the bump and gave up like 4 runs.
Cards have won 4 in a row. They're 18 and 13 ahead of us. Ahead of them are the Cubs at 19 and 12. They won 2 in a row. And the Reds are 20 and 11. So a lot of good talent here in the NL Central. Looking at the other NL divisions, the only 3 teams in the NL with 20 wins are the Dodgers, Reds, and Braves leading their respective divisions. Braves are pulling away a little bit in the NL East, obviously not doesn't really mean much yet, but 6.5 game lead already. The Mets and Phillies, a little disappointing, but and then in the AL Central, no one is over 500. The Tigers and Guards are both 500. The A's have a 1 game lead in the West, just barely over 500.
I
And
think the
then,
Tigers won today, so I don't
okay.
know. Maybe they are still just 500. Either way, yeah, struggling.
And then the Yankees are 20 and 11. We were talking last night about the Yankees being a solid team with Ben Rice hitting lefties and their rotation looking good even without Cole and Rodon. So,
Yeah, and those
um,
two I think will probably be in the ESPN body issue this year. So
yeah,
we can look forward to that.
yeah. No one told them that they had arm injuries. They could have been running.
They're bulking.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the standings. I guess we already kind of did IL, just talking about Woody, and the guys that are
And
coming.
Zerpa,
Zerpa, yeah, that's the other
which
one.
it might be a blessing. He might just need kind of a reset and some time to figure it out. Now, not a blessing
Mhm.
in the sense of the injury, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's not like he's a Cy Young front runner. He's got an arm injury, so we'll see.
We could talk about as long as we're going around the league, the the Red Sox clearing house, firing Cora and a few other guys, and there was a
I
quote.
accidentally wore my one of my Red Sox
Oh,
t-shirts today.
there was a quote about how this is from a Boston guy, Gordo, Boston sports.
Gordo.
Front office believed in David Hamilton despite trading him to the Brewers. When he returned to Fenway in April and played well, the front office began to question the coaching staff's developmental process with young guys. And then there's a quote: "Why do a lot of players go to other places to get better? Why do other players come here and get worse?" And I was joking that the Brewers broke them with Quinn Priester and Kyle Harrison and those trades. Durbin starting slow, so. Interesting. I
Yeah,
know we had a lot of discussions in our group chat that we didn't necessarily think it was the coach's fault, but
no, I think that's a pretty like, especially that is like clickbaity. Like David Hamilton.
yeah.
I mean, I like him, but like, what are we doing here? Plus, even when they acquired him, he was like not the top dog in that trade. But I mean, the other thing too is, at least from my understanding, like in the Brewers case, a lot of the player success is also like a front office thing. It's not a coaching staff thing. It's not like these pitchers come in and it's just coaching. It's a combination. But yeah, it seemed crazy. I mean, they just extended Cora. He's proven to be a good manager, and it seems like the team liked him. But I guess if you're the GM, that's what happens. But yeah, weird move. But they are struggling, and they don't really look like they're gonna jump right out of the hole they put themselves in.
Well, and Crochet now to the IL with the shoulder.
Yeah,
So it didn't sound too serious yet, but shoulder is the new elbow. You got to be more concerned, it seems. Kyle Harrison, the underdog, tweeted that CC Sabathia is the only left-handed pitcher with more strikeouts to their first 5 games with the Brewers. So quite the bar to set. Um,
damn. You want to talk about the other firing? The Phillies. I think that's interesting
oh
too.
yeah.
Like these teams that are probably both were contenders or seen as contenders going into the year, and they already got rid of semi-long standing managers with semi-proven track records.
I mean,
It's interesting.
yeah, my thing with the Phillies too is like, I don't know. I feel like everyone loves the Phillies, but like, am I wrong that their roster is just a little underwhelming? Like
I think
this
it's
year,
old. I don't think it's like
well, it's
underwhelming.
old,
I think
yeah.
their
But
staff is
like,
still good. I think their pitching staff is very good, and I think their
well,
offense is top heavy but solid.
Nola's been bad.
Yeah, Nola stinks. But
Nola's
I'm
had
in the playoffs. Nola doesn't have to touch the field.
Luzardo has
Yeah, but he's
what
always like this.
one? Yeah, but no, one good season in his career, one or two.
That's not fair.
Well,
But Christopher
but how
Sanchez,
much
Wheeler's
money did they
coming
just give him?
back. Young Abel and whoever. I don't know. Or not Abel. Or is he still there? I forgot who they got rid of. Is Painter still there and they got rid of Abel?
Painter, I think, is on the IL. Wheeler just made
Wheeler
his
just came back.
debut, I think, but his velo's down in the minors. I don't know. I guess old maybe is the better term I should use. Like I still love Bryce Harper, but he's getting older. I don't know. Castellanos is gone. Not that he was like a
Yeah,
big loss,
he
but
sucks.
no, I know, but I'm just saying from that core of
Yeah, because
guys,
McCabe's on the Twins now. That's what I thought.
the core of guys that took him to a World Series.
You know Mick Abel's first name is McLean? McLean?
Hmm, no, didn't know that.
It's weird. Uh, yeah, I mean the back half of their lineup's not great, but I don't think they're a bad team. But yeah, they're not. They're
No,
they're
they're not.
definitely roster's not young. I mean Schwarber's still really good though. He's
Yeah,
quite
started
the
slow,
at
but
bat, but yeah, I don't know. I still wouldn't be surprised if they're in the playoffs.
Schwarber's got 10 homers actually. Didn't
Yeah, he
notice.
sucks.
No, no, I knew his batting. Obviously, his batting average is never high, but he's hitting 196. I didn't realize he had 10 home runs already. So
Yeah, he's probably the last person I will look at batting average to determine
yeah,
how his season's going. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Nola and Painter aren't great, but Lazardo I think is capable of it. Sanchez is capable of it, and hopefully Wheeler gets back to what he can do. And then they have Alvarado and Kirk Ring. I don't know. Duran is hurt. Realmuto's hurt. Stats mid. Okay, Bohm has been bad. Trey Turner. Their outfield's pretty weak. I think Garcia I saw was maybe hurt too, but
yeah, Dolly's I think just went down.
yeah.
Um,
Justin, I don't know. I have no clue how Justin Crawford's been doing. Has he started slow?
yeah, nothing
267. I think that's about what they think he'll do. He's not a pop guy, so he's just gonna have to get on base. Yeah, I don't know. I
more.
mean,
The Mets are even more interesting to me. Not I don't know. Like we talked about this last night too. Their roster has like I don't know, they just have a lot of interesting players. Like Semion's just so interesting. He was so good for so long, and now it's
yeah, he
like he
just like
got old
hasn't
over.
been good
Yeah, he
for
just
a
got old
bit.
overnight a year or two ago.
Yeah. Well, even like getting Bichette's like in the advanced analytic era, obviously they got him on the if they want shorter term type deal, blah blah blah. But
Mhm.
like he's not a guy the Brewers would want because his
Yeah.
defense isn't there. So I don't know. I mean, obviously Soto's good, but is he good as the number one? I don't know. Yeah,
Um.
weird spot. Good for the Brewers. Hopefully all these other big dogs struggle.
Um. Yeah, and like Freddie hasn't been amazing. He hasn't been bad to start the year, but he hasn't been quite as good as he looked last year. Obviously, last year was kind of the outlier season for him. It was the best all around year he's put together in a Brewers uniform. But
Devin Williams,
okay,
Luke Weaver, they got some issues over there.
we can go around
Talk
the
about
phone.
Dalton Rushing. I agree. That guy seems like the
Dalton
biggest douche
rushing,
in the league.
yeah,
I hope
he's
Miz puts
putting
one
up a
in
great
his
fight.
dome. I don't get why he's got to be like that. I just saw
Yeah, I don't
someone
know.
too. The like
Strange.
funniest thing I saw on Twitter was just like the worst part about Dalton Rushing is he looks like this, and it was his like headshot. Like he does just look like he's like casted as a bully in a TV show.
Yeah. Do you want to go around the farm?
If it hadn't been for those meddling kids. If it hadn't been for you meddling kids. Ah, meddling kids. If it hadn't been for these meddling laddies.
Yeah,
What do you?
Nashville last 7 days. Cooper Pratt, 8 for 17, 1.415 OPS, 6 runs, 4 RBI, double, triple, home run, 5 walks, 3 stolen bases. Love to see it. Caro, 1.412 OPS with 5 doubles, a home run, 5 runs, 5 RBI. Edius Leonard, he I think was on the Tigers and he's like a 28-ish year old, I think, kind of career AAA guy, but he's had pretty good stats in AAA. Plays, I think, third short, maybe somewhere else, but he had 3 home runs this week. A guy I wouldn't be surprised to see eventually rotate in if we need a body. You mentioned Jet. He had 8 hits over the week, 2 home runs, 4 runs, 3 steals, 7 RBI, and Luis Lara also stayed hot. Um, so you were hyping up that Nashville Sounds lineup, and not even including the major league pieces that are on rehab there. Those guys were getting it done. Um, Logan Henderson had a 5 inning start, gave up 1 earned, and had 9 Ks. In Biloxi, Damon Keith and Desan Brown both had over 1 OPSs, so those two were getting done. Blake Burke stayed pretty hot. Bishop Letson had a good start. For the Timber Rattlers, Dingus had a 1.517 OPS, so he's been really hot. Braylon Payne keeps hitting home runs and launching balls. Starter Braylon Owens went 5 innings, had 6 Ks, 0 earned. And then the Wilson Warbirds, Brady Abel had a 903 OPS in the last 7 days with a triple and 3 steals. Tanner Perry went and 2/3, gave up one earned run with 6 Ks, and Jarrett Bonnet went, or Bonnet, depends on how he pronounces his name. I'll have to ask him sometime. 6 innings, 0 earned. So a lot of guys are getting it done in the last week. Kind of different names, some new names, which you like hearing. And yeah, I think the feature is the AAA lineup getting it done with 4 guys that all basically could probably currently be on our major league roster if they just keep proving it. In the case of Cooper Pratt, and maybe Jet Williams, but Luis Lara's just been. I think he's what, 2021, plays
I don't
good
know.
defense. And he's been hitting the ball pretty hard consistently in AAA, which is really good to see.
Yeah, I'd take Lara and Pratt and Jet in the majors. They can help us out. Yeah, it looks like he is 21. So, yeah, 333 batting average this year through 102 at bats. 12 bags to go with his 5 homers. I'll take
Yeah,
that for sure.
he might go 40-40 before Jazz Chisholm.
Oh, Jazz Prom is 50-50 actually.
No, he's doing it, isn't he?
Yeah,
50 missed challenges and what is it? 50.
yeah. Saw JD Thompson is pitching for the Timber Rattlers now.
Yep.
Brewers number 15 prospect, the lefty from Vandy. They was drafted last year, I believe. More good talent in Appleton. Um, all right. You you had sent a tweet about no, this was last week. We talked about him, Adam Shefsky.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to see what else comes out about Woody. I keep refreshing my feed. But yeah, that'll be interesting. Saw some people on Twitter being super negative about it, about how the Brewers brought him back over Freddie
Yeah, I don't think that's
and he
what
was
they
injured.
did.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It
I
kind
mean,
of
that's
bums.
just like dumb, but I don't know. Honestly, hopefully it's not an arm thing as much, and maybe he kind of works in a off day every month or two. Like we have the depth we've talked about, so
Yeah.
whatever.
Christian Yelich is a girlfriend.
Yeah, what the heck?
It's big news. Um, Chad took a page out of Adrian Hauser's book. Sal says Chad's throwing up all the time. I'm not sure what's wrong with him.
It's not great.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I had from the big league club, honestly.
Um, we did. I think now the fan base is a bit more educated on the spaghetti policy. So
Yeah, that
shout
is
out to
true.
that group of fans.
Glad we could clear that up.
I was always wondering. Um,
Let me buy a beer. Sure. These fans, I love them. When I came in, they didn't recognize me at first, but then when I told them who I was, next thing you know, they're buying me my favorite beer. Thanks. Hey, it's a pleasure to buy a beer for a great pitcher like Whitey Ford. So I lied.
I tried I think it was the Slamber. Is that what it's called? Slamber Ale?
I'm gonna say, what was your beer of the week?
That
And
was
I
good. It was
yes,
good. I think it's brewed in-house at American Family Field. Of course, it's named after beer, so it makes sense. Um, yeah, it was good. Nice chill in the aluminum cup.
hmm
Yeah, what'd you have?
I had a Honey Weiss. Honey Weiss.
Have you tried the Liney's Orange Shandy deal they're hyping up this summer?
No, orange shandy. No, haven't
Yeah,
tried it.
I've heard good things from my Line and Kugel's insider. So,
Your Leinenkugels insider. Who's that?
his name's Matt. He's pretty tall.
Mm,
He just really likes Liney's.
I'll have to meet him.
You've met him.
You got any final thoughts for us?
Just want to see. It seems like maybe next week will be the week we get a couple of those bats back, and I think the club's due for that. I think it'll be good for just kind of the clubhouse and morale of the team and the fan base. So just want to see those guys get back, and Cooper Pratt, please stay hot. I think I was listening to um, what's the Brewers weekly one with Hogue and
Hmm. Microbrew.
JR. Yeah. And I think I think they said that Joey Ortiz hasn't had an extra base hit since the second game of the year. Or no, it maybe it's he hasn't had two hits in a game. Either way, whichever of those two stats it was, by watching it could easily be both. I like Joey Ortiz. Like it seems like he's a good guy and signs autographs, but I don't know what those balls are worth that he's signing currently because he's got some work to do. Still can flash the leather, so he's got that going for him. But Cooper Pratt, stay hot.
Yeah, so 16 and 14 through March and April. They're about to hit the road and go get revenge against the Nationals. Those damn Nationals. Headed to DC, then headed to St. Louis. Have we played the Cardinals yet this year?
I think the Pirates were our first divisional opponent.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Kind of weird. We don't even play the Cubs for another couple weeks after that. We don't play the Cubs
Yeah,
till the
stupid
18th.
schedules.
Yeah, so after that, the rest of the month, the Yankees come to town. That'll be a fun one. Padres, Twins, Cubs, Dodgers, Cardinals, Astros. A couple more interesting matchups there.
Astros, I think, have the worst record in the AL.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I got them on behind me. They're up 11-3 in the second half of their doubleheader, but um,
Yeah, the first game of the doubleheader had a shit ton of runs too. Yeah, their pitching staff is like imploded, the Astros.
yeah, McCullers had like one good start and then has been bad, which I mean, he hasn't been really good in a
Maybe they should
few.
sign Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, I saw Imai got lit up in Double A on his rehab, so
Yeah, tough for him. I
that's
think
kind
he'll
of
be all
a
right, but I don't know.
yeah. I mean, hopefully, but kind of a
How fast do you think Mizorowski actually throws now that Seth McClung has kind of came in with some insider knowledge?
115.
No, he throws 76.
Yeah,
Maybe Woodruff was trying to like pay homage to Seth McClung today.
yeah,
This is actually how hard we throw.
yeah. I don't know.
Why'd you wear the
Um,
Penguins hat today? It seems kind of like a odd time to wear it, honestly.
RIP. This is my uh work from home sweatshirt and hat that I typically throw on. So
Why? Why is that your work from home hat?
I don't know. It's front of the stack. It's one of the it's one of the curved ones. It's got snapbacks.
What's your go-to model hat? I know your dad's got a go-to. He rocks the low pro,
Oh,
right?
he likes the low profile ones. I just like the old all reliable, the 5950s. Are you gonna go pull the trigger on that DJ LeMahieu
No, but I
Yankee
do want to look if
jersey
there's
slash
other
Andrew
players,
McCutcheon?
like
I
other
looked.
interesting ones that would be cool. Because I mean, that's how I got my Corbin Burns jersey. I waited
Yeah.
for him to leave the team, and then it got
hmm
cheap. We'll
Yeah, I don't
see.
know. I don't have much else to talk about this week unless you want to talk about my fantasy baseball team.
I do not want to talk about that. Yeah, I think the one thing though, like when you read off the record and we consider our morale the last couple of weeks, like given what's going on and how the injuries and just how guys are performing, whatever, um, I think you got to be happy as a Brewers fan where we're sitting. I don't think we're not one of those teams that dug a hole and we've gone through worse things than like the Mets, but we're sitting a whole lot prettier than they are. So, um, yeah, I think everything's still ahead of us and we don't really have anything to be worried about. I think the one thing though, uh, I think you had it up maybe. Jones was throwing like over 100 in his rehab start for the Pirates. Like they're
Yeah.
gonna they're gonna have a pretty legit rotation, and I don't know if Griffin will get more comfortable throughout the year. Maybe Ozuna will start hitting more baseballs, and I don't know. They might be something to kind of worry about. And like the Reds lineup finally looks, I think like people have thought it could look like for a while, especially with the addition of Sale Stewart. So I don't know. Division's not going to be easy, but um, I think we're in a good spot too.
Think what should we start to target? I know that around May is when we start to make one of these small pre-deadline moves a lot of times. What's the weakness? Are we gonna go get a bullpen arm
Probably Freddie
maybe?
Peralta.
Yeah. McGill has had a couple good outings
Yeah,
now.
he's starting
Good
to
to
look
see.
better.
Good to
Yeah,
see.
I'm sure. I mean, there's always Penn, and an arm wouldn't
But
hurt right now.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about all those lefties, and then Zerpa and Koenig have gone down, and
I'm sure soon enough, I think not really soon, but I think the one thing is you don't have to rush for those pen guys because come close to deadline time, if any of these teams we thought would be contenders are out of it, the Mets, the Phillies, the Astros, all these clubs, even like the AL Central teams, obviously they'll be selling for whatever they can get the short control relievers for. So I'm not too worried about rushing to that, but if something makes sense and we like a guy's control or something, but um,
I'd love to see us make a big swing for or a medium swing for a third baseman, maybe. Like I know Murakami is people have been saying like, oh, the White Sox are still
yeah,
rebuilding.
we're just simply
They
not
should
going to acquire him
capitalize,
though.
but yeah, I don't
Yeah, I
know
don't
what
know.
the move is.
I think it's weird because we have the all these guys that are a year or two out that we really do believe in, but how
Mhm.
many times can you say that? So it's that weird middle ground of like you want to wait and don't want to miss out on what those guys could be, but also like they're not all going to be something. And at
Yeah.
some point, you just have to try to be good. But I'm curious, like Terang, especially too, like the extension talk. I think every day it doesn't happen, it gets less likely. So he's a guy that he might be the one player that like the older Brewers fans watch and don't hate because apparently every other player on the roster, all these old heads hate.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath on a Turing extension, unfortunately. But yeah, that's about all I got.
Yeah. Who do we have next two series?
Nats and Cards on
Dude,
the
the
road.
pesky Nats. You're not kidding. And the
Yep.
Cards I actually have been performing a bit, which I hate because they're not actually good.
Yeah.
But all right, well, maybe we can go on a run next time we
Yep.
talk.
Let's do it. Go Brewers.
Go Chinooks.